All right, this is the final commies in journalism, at least for today. This is the third. This is Hugh Hewitt, and we've talked about Hugh Hewitt before. I know. We don't need to get into the background and details on Hugh. We'll just read it. And you can figure out for yourself what you think, and I'll tell you what I think along the way. It says, "I didn't think the GOP had a great virtual convention in it, but it did." So again, you'd think, hey, this is a nice compliment, except that it's not a quote from him. So this could be a reinvention of a headline that he had written out. Two, him saying, I didn't think that the GOP had a great virtual convention in it, means like, I didn't expect anything from them, but they surprised me. They showed up with something. It's insulting, but it's his true feeling about Donald Trump and about the convention itself, about the Republican Party. So he says, in a word, effective. In two words, powerfully effective. Well, that kind of echoes what we just talked about in the previous video, right? In number 2. So he is now confirming that it's effective, and he'll go into why that's really bad. The Republicans' virtual convention and the President Trump's acceptance speech hit every note they sought and held them for all the right lengths. The president's long speech on the South Lawn of the White House angered and outraged all the right people. That's true. Unleashing 100 Twitter lawyers shouting, "The Hatch Act has been violated." They talked to each other endlessly, but Americans by the millions listened to the speakers closely, watching the videos and finding the messages approving of Donald Trump's long address. I'm paraphrasing some of this just so that the context, the conjugation stays the same. But you can read this at the Washington Post. Hugh Hewitt's not bad. He's just a commie, and he's like double, I don't know what you would call this. He's like double agent for us, I guess, because he thinks that we're dumb, and the way that he talks about us is like we're going to consume it and think that he's better, but he's just outing them, and I love it. He says, unleashing 100 Twitter lawyers shouting Hatch Act violation. He's mocking the people that are tweeting that, but at the same time, he's promoting it. It's weird. The elected officials were concise and focused on the achievements of the past 4 years. Tom Cotton, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, they both represented two very different generations of Republicans from southern states, Kentucky and Arkansas, both being Republican. Despite a big difference in age and life experience, Cotton is the young Harvard hit-em, the combat veteran, and McConnell is the turtle. Anyways, they both focused like a laser on judicial confirmations, set up Trump's compare and contrast speech. So that's what they did. They were all saying, look at this, look at that, look at this. And then Trump came up and said, look at me, look at what we've done, look at what everyone else had accomplished, nothing. Look at what Joe Biden has done for 47 years, scary stuff. Okay, Hugh, keep going. He says, by far, the most moving moments of all 4 nights of the convention were the remarks of who? Of Ann Dorn, the one that you've seen nothing about. If you were paying attention to the mainstream, no coverage of her. The widow of the retired St. Louis police officer David Dorn, say his name, murdered during looting there in June. And Marsha and Carl Mueller's loving but firm remembrance of Kayla Mueller, the humanitarian who was kidnapped, tortured, beheaded, raped by Islamic State leader al-Baghdadi. Remember, they won't say ISIS. They say the Islamic State. Because they want to get paid still. Unreal. The Mueller's blunt condemnation of inaction. Oh, so he's... Now wait. This is literally a quote taken a line half taken out of this one. Starting to look sketchy, Hugh. If you're going to have ghostwriters, you should acknowledge them in the byline. As with every night of the convention, Trump appealed through speakers and videos to be realigning America, whose citizens want to be safe in their homes and live a strong, fearless, and well-defended country. Yeah, that's true. We all want that. Trump's razor-sharp attacks on the Biden record and his ringing endorsement of law enforcement, as well as various endorsements of representatives of police and other members of the Blue family. So, talking about all military, all law enforcement, all of the unions behind military and law enforcement, leaves no doubt as to which candidate is the candidate of order in the streets and rule of law everywhere. It ain't fucking Joe Biden. Again and again, black Americans spoke to the president's record and heart. Now wait, Hugh Hewitt, you're saying that black Americans spoke again and again. This woman was trying to tell us that the one thing that was missing was black people. What is the deal here? That she had said, hang on, I'm going to find it. Here we go. Debasing clemency. Hold please. We're going to get there, I promise. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm going to be too stupid and not be able to find it. Here we go. Ignore two. I have done so much for the black population, right? For the African American community. This whizzed by fast because of all these other people that spoke. Then she talks about how all these other people spoke, but it wasn't the black people. Typical approach, incumbent president, blah, blah, blah. Hugh Hewitt actually says, honestly, again and again, black Americans spoke to the president's record and heart. Again and again, the convention called on small business owners and working class people to applaud the president's record and job creation. Operation Warp Speed. I mean, they're talking about all the great things that President Trump has done. In the previous article, and maybe it wasn't the one I was just trying to find it in, but in the previous article, in one of the two videos that I just made, it showed, maybe it was Kathleen Parker, that bitch. One of these people had written that Donald Trump artfully ignored and didn't have a lot of black people speaking at his convention, that he only really had these other people. He had women, he had all these other intersectionalities, but he didn't have black people. Then you have Hugh Hewitt smearing him as saying, well, he's using the black people again and again. Well, so which one is it? Which one is it? The president's speech capped 4 nights of tremendous production value. That's what they're going to say this is. So again, Hugh, you're going to give credit. You're going to trick Tim Pool into making a video that says, Hugh Hewitt and the rest of the people at the Washington Post now think that Trump has a great... No, this is mockery. This is mockery. Look at this. The left embedded the Manhattan and D.C. media pretty much whined through the whole week and did its best to fact-check the president and every speaker. Here's the key. The credibility of the media was shattered long ago, and the unbalanced panels, absurd tweets, and hysteria over convention fireworks and only confirmed for Trump voters that the president's not running against Biden, the speaker, or the Senate minority leader, but against the very deeply biased and partisan media. Trump repeatedly defended freedom of speech, but he uses his own bully pulpit to assail speech bullies across the land, whether in movie studios or in university faculties. So you'd think, well, wait, isn't he the right guy then? No, he's saying none of them are good, and he's not giving you a better option. Oddly, what they're accusing Trump of doing, taking apart the ACA and not giving us a better option. They're taking Donald Trump to task, but they're not giving us a better option. Finally, there's no doubt in any fair observer's mind where the president stands on law enforcement and where the vast majority of police, border patrol, and law enforcement personnel stand in this race. True. Trump and Biden are on the ballot, but so is the rule of law. Nope, literally it's not, stupid. We're not voting on the rule of law also. We're voting on Trump and the rule of law, or all of those other things that you just mentioned. And Trump's claim to represent it will be tough for even the combined forces of the mainstream media and the Democrats to rebuke. That's also true. Or rebut, but rebuke would be better too. I didn't think the GOP had a great virtual convention in it, but it did. Now, on to the debates, which, even though they will be inevitably stacked against Trump, there are something that the president clearly looks forward to. They would be stacked against Trump because of the media, but all conventional wisdom says that these debates will be 100% off the chain positive for Trump, unless he literally has a heart attack or stroke during them, because you can bet that Biden will be having a heart attack and a stroke the whole time. He won't be able to get 5 sentences out, and you'll be seeing his little cocaine jaw moving all over. So, anyways, that's what I have to think on that one. It's a shorter video, but I really do think a lot of the people who are giving you their opinion in the mainstream, and specifically today in the Washington Post, are people that are trying to do everything they can, whether they are hard left, moderate left, or what Hugh Hewitt would call himself, probably like a moderate middle ground, maybe not. I don't know. He seems to always want to be the one to fake support Donald Trump, and then at the end of each paragraph say it's a bully pulpit, assailing speech bullies. Tim Pool traps this up, or he gets trapped into it a lot. He'll be like, oh, this is an article from Hugh Hewitt. He writes about Trump in a good way. And it's like, no, he doesn't. Dude, he's mocking us. And you need to see that. These are commies. Check it out. Leave your comments in the comment section. Leave your likes on the like mat. It's not a button. You're just supposed to click it and leave your like right there on the like button mat. On the like mat. And subscribe to the channel. That helps. Keep in touch. Do everything else that you can do to keep America afloat.